outfit or maybe carrying a weapon or no. You don't see that. I don't know.
Well, the
that
Times
any of us
Square
have.
bomber was gonna use a vehicle to blow up Times Square.
Sure.
There's no airplane involved there, so.
Well, the
that doesn't
Oklahoma
stop
City
the Oklahoma
bombing
City
was
bombing.
a rented van. And, they don't give you a psychological test when you walk in to rent a van, but they don't body search you either. They basically say you have a valid driver's license and money. Which is sort of the same thing with taking an airplane. You know where you want to go and do you have money?
Yep.
The rest of it you're just supposed to bow down to.
Okay, so I think we've gotten a lot of good points on here for personal freedom and for searches. We'll run down through what we got and see if anybody has any final thoughts, and then we can sum up. Everybody can please sum up what they think about it in just a few short minutes, and then we'll go ahead and break from this discussion. Personal freedom, we have the exemptions, the fact that the pilots are not scanned because of the unions. There could be the fake IDs possibly. We have the possible longer wait that this would cause due to the spectacle going on at the gate. We have the pictures of your person that could possibly get out onto the world without your express written consent. And we have the ineffective possible searches of maybe that they're not going to get everything. We're going to find a way to get around it. When is enough enough?
I think one last point, or a general point to make on that is just, I think this may have been talked before, but just a general invasion of privacy. It's against the Fourth Amendment, and because at the federal level, it's against the Fourth Amendment for unauthorized search and seizure without any probable cause. So if you don't know, if you don't have any probable cause to say that person A, B, or C could be wanting to commit an act of terrorism on a plane, then what right do you have to search them like that? For the personal freedom, someone would argue it's
Yeah, but I think
violation of the
I mentioned
Constitution.
the fact the Patriot Act basically gives them the right to do whatever the hell they want.
And the
Well,
Patriot
the
Act
other
does
side
give
then.
them special rules in airports.
Right,
Yeah.
which you could argue that why the Patriot Act is unconstitutional.
It could go on both sides.
I agree.
Yeah.
Patriot Act.
For enhanced search safety, the Patriot Act specifies these things, so
I mean, the only point I would like to make is, as the moderator, facilitator, the guy who said at the very beginning this all started with 9/11.
right.
The people went through metal detectors before they got on the plane at 9/11. The weapons were on the planes. They were put there by ground personnel that they never caught. So why is anybody being searched? I mean, there were metal detectors that would have caught box knives going through. None of them beeped. So those people were clean. And if you're standing there looking today at a normal airline terminal, especially an international terminal like DFW, you see all kinds of profiles of people walking through there. Some of them who might be terrorists and some of them who are tourists. You don't know, and nobody else does either. So are we wasting our time with the whole TSA thing?
Okay, well, that seems like a good spot to stop and sum up. Since we've come all the way around full circle back to 9/11 and the reason TSA is here, and the possible failings of that day, which had nothing to do with searches. They were searched before, and they still got weapons on the plane. So that would be something for personal freedom, where we're back to ineffective searches. Now, for the searches over there, we do have it is a deterrence, or like a military member on watch would be the same kind of thing. It's visual, so when he sees it, they freak out, that sort of thing. It makes it harder for you to get something on a plane. It does make it more difficult for an outsider, not an insider, like the example of the people who brought the box knives onto the planes in 9/11, those were insiders. But it does make it more difficult for an outsider. For searches would be the loaded pants. The old searches, if somebody had something in their pants, they got on the plane. It's not good. Psychological profiles is another way we could search. It was brought up with the ineffective searches, or the Israeli thing. It could be another way to go about doing it that's not as invasive. That seems like the concurrence here was that it's not an invasive technique, and it's not in public. You don't gotta take a plane. That's another one. You can drive a car, take a train, go on the big gray dog, take the bus. If you're going overseas, they still have ocean liners to go over there. And the final one over 4 searches is the going to be the Patriot Act, which gives permissions to the government to control what you can and cannot do when traveling in mass communications like that is part of the Patriot Act, as well as their monitoring capabilities. If we can go around and get everybody to summary real quick, just sort of what they feel, just one short little, maybe even a statement, 2 statements. We'll go around the table, single it up, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Do you want to start with you, Marianne? Is that okay?
Well, I think it's definitely a valid point that you don't have to fly, and, you know, it does make it more difficult for the terrorists to possibly do something with these new procedures, but at the same token, they don't have to fly either, and these procedures are publicly available information, so they know exactly what the TSA is doing now, and they can just try something else.
Okay. So would you say you're for the searches or against it?
I would be against it.
Would you be against it, Paul?
I would be for the searches, mainly because I don't have an issue with it. But I have like I said, along the lines of the personal freedom, I don't feel if they've been doing random searches before that this would extend anyone's weight in any way. And on the picture subject, I don't see, if you feel that because this person's getting an x-ray of you, they can put these things on the internet, what's stopping your x-ray tech at your doctor's office from doing the same thing?
All valid points. Carla?
I am against the searches, although I have to say that if I was at the airport waiting in line, I would comply with the rules if I went through and was called into the full body scan. I'm not afraid of pictures being on the internet, from the scans, but I don't feel like the searches are effective. I don't think that it's preventing anyone from committing terrorist acts against us.
Okay. Gina?
I'm against the searches. I think it does fall on personal freedoms, and I think that, that we should have our personal freedoms, and I agree with Carla that I don't think the searches are really making or breaking whether or not terrorists get through.
Okay. Mr. Dave?
I think the enhanced security searches are valid and legal, and that's probably why I'm for it. I just question some of the exact methods and think there are better ways to go about it to be more effective. But I would say that I would argue that I'm for the searches. I just think there needs to be more work done to create a better system in general.
It's a good summation. Deb?
I personally would just not fly. Basically, I was kidding earlier, I wasn't really kidding. I think everybody should just fly naked. If they want to be serious, just tell everybody that's the rules. You'll either get people on the planes or you won't. The thing has gone from being a knee-jerk reaction to a disaster that was regrettable, that would have happened even if we had these particular processes in place on 9/11. They would have still got through and done what they did. So what have we solved? And the flip side of that is, how many successful terrorist attacks have there been since 9/11 in the United States on an airlines? I don't know that anybody can recall one. There have been some sort of humorous failures, if you can find any humor in it. But is it effective? I don't think so. And so basically what we're doing is putting the airline passengers through a lot of stress they probably don't need to go through. The airline employees through a lot of stress they probably don't want to go through. And God knows what we've done to the airline companies and a major employer in the United States, the amount of money that they are losing due to the fact they cannot move as many people or fly as many planes or make as many flights per day because now all this overhead is on them. And I seriously question the effectiveness of the TSA. It's the government concept of let's put this out to the lowest bidder, and consequently you probably get a very low skill set hired on to do these things. So I'm against it.
Okay. Thank you everybody for coming, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.